It is a different lifestyle. You know, now when they walk into a stadium, when somebody walks into their stadium, they're ready to go. They have that game circled because of the Joe Burrows, the Jamar Chase, the T. Higgins, and now it's a star-studded team, and they're a young team. A lot of those guys were a part of that 4-win season, and now you reach crazy success in 1 year. There was no build-up. There was no like, all right, we're chopping down wood, we're getting better each and every year. Like, no, all of a sudden, we're in the Super Bowl. Yeah. The Bengals will have somewhat of a letdown this year. It's not going to be just roses and, all right, next thing you know, they're back in the Super Bowl and they're representing the AFC. I think they are going to falter a little bit. And this Bengals team, they were 10-7 last year. They were the worst kind of division winners of the playoffs. So it wasn't like they just blew everybody out of the water with a 12-13 win season. They won 10 games. They lost a lot of games. They lost games after playing against some of their bigger opponents. They played Baltimore early on, blew them out, lost to the Jets after that. It's kind of what we call that trap game kind of mentality. And after a season like they had last year where you make it all the way to the Super Bowl and now everybody's gunning for you, I think it's going to be hard for them to have that same level of consistency week in and week out.
I'm interested to hear you say that because I think there's a huge amount of naivete about the Bengals in this season. And you look at them, you're like, well, Burrow's back and Chase is there and they just got the band back together and they're just set now. They're going to be the new Chiefs. Are they? Be careful just saying they're set up for years like the Chiefs are. The Chiefs were already up and running with Reed and Alex Smith, and then Mahomes shows up and takes them to the stratosphere. Also, we'll see what comes from the Bengals as an organization and as a front office to keep these players, to keep them going year after year. That's all TBD. For this year, how good is Joe Burrow? What are we going to get from him? Is Joe Burrow going to set up shop for the next 5, 6, 7, 12 years as, I'm like the 7th or 8th best quarterback in the league? You know, I'm kind of in that Dak Prescott zone, and that's fine. That's great. Or is he like, no, I'm the man. Like, I am the new guy. I'm 2. I'm 3. I'm 1. Because if he's not, we're just going to be in this thing where, like, you go back to 90s NBA. You got Allen and Jackson and Mahomes and Herbert. Like, who is the Ewing and the Barkley and those guys? And then who is the Jordan? Because a bunch of these guys, these great young quarterbacks we love, it ain't going to work out. You're not going to get your rings. You're not going to get back to the Super Bowl. So if Joe shows up this year and he's just like, yeah, I'm really good. I'm a top 10 guy. Bink, bink, you're going to get picked off by these other guys. In this era that he's born in, his lot in life is like, man, I'm in a bunch of great AFC quarterbacks for my whole career. He might be the guy. He might be like, I'm going to be the Hall of Famer of this group. I'm that good. We don't know yet. Way too young. But if he's only like, yeah, I'm very good, I don't know if it's going to be enough because there's too many killers. There's too many Allens and Mahomes. And like, I get it. He's beaten them and I love it. But year after year, way, way harder than it looks. You don't just snap your fingers and say, we're the new Chiefs.
It's interesting because he said that yesterday. He said, hey, you know, my year last year was almost like still my rookie year, the first half of the season, coming off the ACL. And it was like not until that second half of the season when they started to get rolling that they actually started believing in each other. And that 10-7 record was not indicative of what they looked like down the stretch, right? Those were games that they lost in the beginning. They were 3-3 at one point. I look at last year and I look at two different teams that they played against. The mighty Ravens, who used to kick the snot out of them every single week. What they did against the Ravens in 2 games. In the first game, they go in, they play the Ravens in Baltimore, and it was like, what the heck just happened? Bengals beat them 41-17. Lamar was on the field, and Burrow threw for 416 yards. The Ravens, obviously licking their chops to get another shot at them. They play them a second time, and I know it's not Lamar at quarterback, but the Bengals beat them again, 41-21, and Burrow threw for 525 yards in that game. So, to me, it's like young team. All right, we beat you once, and then the old veteran team like gets the best of you. All right, well, what about the Chiefs? They play the Chiefs in a very, very important game in Week 17, where playoff, berths are on the line, the whole deal. They play the Chiefs. And, they go in Week 17 and they beat them 34-31 at home. And it was an awesome victory where Jamar Chase went for 11 catches and 266 yards. You fast forward to the AFC Championship game and it's like, they should be scared of the Chiefs. They're down 21-3. They weren't.
The run's over.
They weren't. Like, they came all the way back and it's, all the guys, like you're seeing Samaje Perine making huge plays in an AFC Championship game in Arrowhead. So, to me, like, they did it last year. They went into these places that have been, haunted for them, and they went in against these big dog teams, and they kicked the snot out of the Ravens twice, and then they beat the Chiefs twice when the Chiefs were supposed to be the team last year. To your point, Kyle, and to yours, Jason, and Jamie, I'm curious, like, we have to make our predictions out of the AFC in a week or two.
How do you do when your eyes land on the North?
Like, forget the North. Like,
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Like, is anyone picking the Bengals? We haven't made our picks yet. I'd be curious to see if anyone in the national media is picking the Bengals to go back.
Again.
It's very easy to say, like I'm doing it. Yeah, they're good. They're great. How good? How much faith do you have in them? And I'm curious to see what people think and what the Bengals think.
So agreed that the Bengals are one of the teams in the league that ride or die with their quarterback. It's not like, oh, you've got to shut down defense and the offense has to manage. Like, this team will rise and fall with Joe Burrow. Okay, that being said, again, I go back. I can't stop going back to the 2019 LSU Tigers. Joe Burrow has done this before. He was the hunter and then became the hunted. In the preseason poll in 2019, LSU was ranked 6th. Keep in mind all these teams that were above him because they will come into play as he went from hunter to hunted. LSU is ranked 6th. As September and October roll along in 2019, they start to pick off teams. They start to rise up the ranks. November 9th, 2019, they're number 1. Alabama is 8. He picks off Alabama. It starts to flip. All of a sudden, he becomes the hunted. He becomes a Heisman front runner. And then is there the Heisman curse for Joe Burrow? Does he fall on his face in the college football playoffs?
Look at that
Absolutely
game.
Not. Look at that game against Oklahoma. Those numbers are mind-blowing. Okay, he fell down then in the national championship.
Or
nope.
did he?
Did he? He did not. There are his numbers: 463 passing yards against Clemson. He beat 4 of the 5 teams that were ranked higher than him in the top 6 preseason poll in 2019. He was the hunter. He became the hunted. He's been here before. He'll do it again. This is a comfortable place for Joe Burrow to exist. This is the first half of my rookie season. I feel like he's just messing with all of us. He's like, I'm good. We're good. I got it. That's it.
It's a great summation because they started 6. He started picking them all off. And I don't know.
And that turning point, that Alabama game was a turning point. Like, they were the first in the league. They were the first and number 1 in the country, but they had to beat Alabama in order to go to the SEC championship, something they had been unable to do for years, for a while at LSU. And I know it's sick of me talking about the SEC, but the parallel is uncanny when you look at all the guys then, those players that were with him at LSU. Jamar Chase, he was with him on that ride. I'd be curious to ask Jamar Chase this question: how does Joe Burrow feel about going from hunter to hunted? Because he'd be like, he's done it before.
Yeah.
He might laugh. He'd be like, yeah, it's him.
He might give you a cigar and say, let's smoke it in the locker room.
It's where he lives. Yes, exactly.